Would you believe if we told you that Slack, the $27 billion tech giant, actually came from a failed game company? When you think of a company that big, you usually picture a perfect plan, flawless execution, and a straight shot to success. But Slack's story is nothing like that. It didn't start in a boardroom with some grand plan for workplace software. In fact, it was an accident, a side effect of a dream that had spectacularly crashed and burned. So, this is the story of how the ashes of a failed MMO would ignite one of the fastest-growing SaaS ever. To really get the Slack story, you've got to start with Glitch. Back in 2009, Stuart Butterfield, a co-founder of the photo-sharing site Flickr, assembled a team under the name TinySpec. Many were former colleagues from Flickr, and they shared a bold vision: to build a massively multiplayer online game, or MMO, that was radically different. Instead of combat and competition, Glitch was designed to be a whimsical browser-based world focused on social interaction, creativity, and collaborative play. Butterfield wasn't just interested in games, he was fascinated by play as an excuse to interact with people socially. The team held frantic pitch meetings, trying to convince investors to fund what seemed like a frivolous project in a tough economic climate. They eventually secured funding from firms like Accel and Andreessen Horowitz, who were betting on Butterfield's track record. However, the dream soon met a brutal reality. Development costs for the visually rich game soared, and while it attracted a small, passionate community, it failed to achieve broad appeal. User growth stalled, and investors grew restless. The situation became unsustainable. In late 2012, after launching and then unlaunching the game to fix its core issues, Butterfield made the fateful decision to shut Glitch down for good. The emotional toll on the team was immense. Butterfield himself reportedly broke down when announcing the news to the employees he had convinced to join his ambitious, high-risk venture. It was a moment of profound failure. But behind the scenes, something else was happening. As the company wound down, Butterfield spotted the hidden potential in a tool they had built for themselves simply to survive. It was an internal chat system created to help their distributed team communicate more effectively than they could with email. As the final lines of code were written for Glitch, with the game's world disappearing with a final message of "poof," the seed for their next chapter had already been planted. That seed was an internal tool the team had cobbled together, initially called TinySpec Chat. It was built on an old protocol called Internet Relay Chat, or IRC, but supercharged with custom scripts that logged all conversations, making them searchable, and integrated with their other work tools. With over $5 million left in the bank from Glitch's funding, Butterfield and his co-founders decided to pivot and turn this internal tool into a real product. They named it Slack, which stood for Searchable Log of All Conversation and Knowledge. After developing a prototype, they launched a preview release in August 2013. While some investors were initially skeptical about a simple chat app, the idea caught fire with other tech companies, who immediately recognized the problem it solved. The team didn't launch to the public right away. Instead, they carefully selected early adopters, cajoling friends at companies like Rdio, Medium, and Crashlytics to use the product and provide relentless feedback. This created an incredibly tight feedback loop. The Slack team treated every support ticket and tweet as a valuable data point, allowing them to rapidly refine the features that made the product sticky. Core features like channels for organizing conversations, powerful search, and seamless integrations with tools like Zendesk and Google Drive were perfected during this phase. This user obsession fueled a powerful viral growth engine. Growth wasn't driven by a big sales team but by word of mouth. A developer at one company would start using the free version, invite their team, and soon the entire organization would be hooked, making the "Invite My Whole Company" button one of their most powerful marketing tools. With clear evidence of product-market fit, the funding floodgates opened. Slack raised a $42.7 million Series C round in April 2014, and by October of that same year, it raised a Series D round that valued the company at over $1.1 billion, officially making it a unicorn just 8 months after its public launch. Subsequent funding rounds saw its valuation soar, ending in a Series H round in 2018 that valued the company at over $7.1 billion. This hypergrowth, however, brought significant growing pains. The company hired aggressively, fostering a remote-friendly culture that echoed its roots as a distributed game development team. But its infrastructure, built on Amazon Web Services, strained under the load, leading to several high-profile outages as they struggled to scale their database and caching systems to serve millions of simultaneous users. Despite the scaling challenges, Slack's user growth was astronomical. After launching in 2014, it hit 1 million daily active users by 2015, then 5 million, and by 2019, it had surpassed 12 million daily active users. The key was its ecosystem of killer integrations. For developers, it became the central nervous system for their workflows. For enterprise clients, it connected disparate departments and tools into a single searchable hub. For millions of workers, email was starting to feel like a relic of the past. Slack wasn't just a tool, it was becoming the digital office itself, a place where work actually happened. You can see how they tell their customer stories and feature innovations on their official YouTube channel. In June 2019, Slack went public, but not through a traditional IPO. It chose a direct listing, selling existing shares directly to the public on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol WORK. This unconventional move saved the company huge banking fees, but also meant more price volatility. The market reception was electric. The NYSE set a reference price of $26 per share, but the stock opened trading above $38, which gave the company a valuation of nearly $20 billion on its first day. Now, a public company, Slack was under the microscope. Every quarterly report was a nail-biting event, with Wall Street scrutinizing user growth and profitability. Maintaining the company's famously fun and quirky culture while facing the immense pressure to deliver consistent financial results became a major leadership challenge. By 2020, Slack faced an existential threat: Microsoft Teams. Microsoft bundled Teams for free with its dominant Office 365 suite, which gave it an enormous distribution advantage that Slack, despite its beloved product, couldn't match on its own. A strategic partner was needed. In December 2020, that partner emerged. Salesforce announced it would acquire Slack for a staggering $27.7 billion in a cash-and-stock deal. The strategic fit was clear. Salesforce gained a powerful collaboration hub to create a digital HQ for its Customer 360 platform, while Slack gained access to Salesforce's massive enterprise sales force to compete head-on with Microsoft. The deal closed in 2021, and about a year and a half later, Stuart Butterfield announced his departure, which marked the end of an independent era for the company he built from the ashes of a game. Slack's journey offers a masterclass in modern business strategy. It fundamentally reshaped workplace communication and proved that a channel-based platform could be more efficient and transparent than email. More importantly, it rewrote the SaaS playbook. It became the ultimate story of the power of the pivot, turning failure into a multi-billion-dollar opportunity. Slack championed product-led growth and showed how a great freemium product could sell itself from the bottom up. And it proved that even in the serious world of enterprise software, a relentless focus on user experience, great design, and a strong culture can be a powerful competitive advantage. Slack's journey is the ultimate proof that your greatest success can be born from your biggest failure. It forces us to ask a critical question. What version of Slack lies waiting in your next failed project? Let us know your own pivot stories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to get the next brand story in your feed.